Hello, everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. My name, of course, is Sunny, and with me, I have my co-host, Caleb. What's up, dude?
Hello.
Before we get too far, we do, of course, want to thank all of our wonderful patrons. So a huge thank you goes out to Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Master of Isa, Mocha, Mr. Herbie, Scuzz Daddy, Witchcrafter Main 2022, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Leela, Damian Zink, Dank Nugs, Dino DNA, Mountain Man, Myth Oceanus, Owen Alvarado, Pig, Rudolph, Sneaky Links, Jeremy Drysdale, Ray Powell, and Sunny Sweet. Wow, thank you all so much for the support, the new and continued support. Of course, we do want to ask you to follow our Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. Join our Discord. We have great discussions going on in there all the time. So please be sure to check us out on all of those places. Now, we do also want to take a moment to read out our newest review on Apple Podcasts. Yes, we did get a new review from Josh Richmond 88. 5 stars. Thanks a lot. I just got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of Master Duel and saw your podcast. Really helped me out with some stuff, was super informative, and I am really grateful. And I am a lot less confused by the current meta. No problem, Josh. We are here to help. So, if you want your review read out on Apple Podcast, from Apple Podcasts on the podcast, please be sure to leave us a rating and a review. We will go ahead and read it out on the podcast.
Kind of a tongue twister there.
Yeah. It was a lot of saying the word podcast over and over, and it took me a moment. I had to back off for a second. Like, okay, wait a minute, deep breath. So, if you are on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave us a like, leave us a subscribe, whatever they call it on there. Leave us a 5-star review. If you're on Spotify, be sure to follow. And if you're on YouTube now, our YouTube is fully updated.
Yes, it is.
Right? Okay, cool. I'm glad you confirmed that before I...
Yes, it is. Fully up to date. Episodes post like an hour after they normally come out on the podcast. That's just due to the way YouTube processes it.
Right. So, be sure to check out the YouTube episodes as they go up if you would rather watch on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and follow us there. We haven't normally been posting to YouTube at the same frequency that we post to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but moving forward, this is a new part of what we're doing. So it's part of our growth and our expansion, something people have been asking for, so we want to be able to provide that.
Oh yeah, and we figured, starting at season 4, episode 1 would be a great place to start that.
Right. Which,
by the way, this is season 4, episode 1.
No, it's not. Yeah, not until the new ban list takes effect.
Fair enough.
Right.
I was just going to say go ahead and do it now because we're already 30-something, because we're already way ahead, but...
Yeah, no, we'll start it when the new ban list takes effect.
Okie dokie.
So, but...
Heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Well, that's what we did the last 2 seasons.
Fair enough.
So, but that will pretty much bring us into... we do have a little bit of quick play news that we were going to talk about here today.
Just real quick.
Yeah. Oh, and while I'm here at the early part of the episode, I keep doing it at the end of the episode. If you're buying cards for this new format we have coming up, and you want to support the podcast at no extra cost, it's very easy. Go into the link down below, click our TCG Player affiliate link, and you can help us, because what happens is when you buy on TCG Player, you click our affiliate link, you go in, add whatever cards you want to the cart, and as long as our affiliate link is the link that brought you to TCG Player, then TCG Player gives us a kickback. Not a lot. It's a very small, minute amount.
It adds up.
But exactly, it adds up, and we appreciate it. So,
oh yeah. You can definitely help support us by buying the cards you're already going to get
at no extra cost to you. So, unfortunately, we're not cool enough yet to have discount codes to places. But
key term in that sentence though. Yet.
So
we're getting there. Hopefully sooner rather than later. That'd be really cool.
For real. So today's main topic is, of course, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list. We did get a new ban list as of recording today, but as of posting, we got it yesterday.
Yeah.
So
earlier today as of recording, so yesterday as of posting, we also did a live reaction.
Yes.
To the ban list.
Yes, we did. So if you want to hear our live reaction, I mean, we literally, I pulled over in a parking lot and called Caleb to do the reaction.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. We recorded it over Discord. We had kind of spotty connection. So, in the episode, there are like very minor moments where he'll start a word and then blank out and then finish the word. You can still kind of see what he's tell what he's saying. But
yeah, the audio sucked. There's no getting around it compared to our usual setup. The audio.
We tried.
Yeah.
But it was very off the cuff. We hadn't looked at it. It wasn't spoiled for us until we were able to stop and record. So that is our guttural reaction.
Yeah. So now is where you get our more thought about, composed, put together reaction to it.
Yeah.
So
or we've had time to sit here and think about the implications of the bans, the limits, and blah blah blah.
Right. So we do have a little bit of quick play news, just a little bit. We have a new product page for the Tactical Masters set. This is a 60 card booster pack for the TCG. It has a expected release date of Friday, June 10th, 2022. So, knowing Konami with the current release schedule, it'll be like August the 10th, 2023, you know?
But in all seriousness, I fully expect this to get pushed back to like mid to late July, early August at maybe the latest.
I would expect probably late June. Like, realistically.
Yeah.
Grand Creators was supposed to be early January, now it's late January. So, I mean, if this was supposed to be early June, I would expect late June. Maybe,
Yeah. Basically, be prepared for it to be delayed.
Yeah. I mean, if they push it back 3 weeks, that puts it on July 1st. Yeah. So, there could be something like that.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so this is going to be a 7-card packs at 1 foil card per pack and 6 rares per pack. It's a 60 card set. It has 10 ultras, 15 supers, and 35 rares. This will be the introduction of that pendulum archetype that we read off the other day.
Yeah, the warriors and the mechs.
Yes, but I cannot for the life of me remember what the actual name of the set is.
Neither can I. Unfortunately.
I mean, not the set, the archetype.
Yeah, unfortunately. It was a really cool archetype, though. It's based on video games.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did we have, like, confirmation of that?
Well, not really. We don't really have confirmation very much at all.
We never do.
Yeah. But, like, just based on some of the art, particularly the 2 field spells, the 2 field spells look like stage select screens on a video game.
Yeah. And that was kind of my thought behind it, too.
Yes, so I'm thinking, and like the warrior looking, the more warrior looking archetype looks more like maybe it's what's the name of that game? I just had the name of the game in my head. Dynasty Warriors. Looks a lot like it might be based on Dynasty Warriors, while the other one's based on the mech suit one's more based on like the Gundam Dynasty Warrior game.
I've never even heard of Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, it's fun.
Is it?
If you like tactical games where you're playing one guy commanding an army.
Yeah.
But then also fighting on the battlefield.
Yeah.
In warring China. Circa, I don't remember what year that was.
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
So whenever Lubu was around. Doesn't matter.
The Valiants.
Maybe.
That's the archetype.
Yeah,
the Valiants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you can expect to see in the Tactical Masters.
Yeah, it's we've already read it out before. It's a really cool archetype. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. And
May not actually play the deck, but
it only takes like 2 or 3 hours to read all the text.
Yeah, because you're reading a spell card and a monster card for almost all the cards.
Pretty much, yeah. So let's talk about the ban list. So, for those that don't know, the ban list, if you want to just a quick reaction to it, wow.
Ooh.
Okay, so your bans are Arch Nemesis Protos, Ava, some Morgue Bird of Sovereignty, Imperial Order. Your limits are Astrograph Sorcerer, Destrudo the Lost Dragon's Frisian, Fairy Tale Snow, and Lunalight Tiger, Lairless Crucial Starling, Monster Gate, and Pot of Desires. Your semi-limits are A Hero Lives, Fusion Destiny, Nadir Servant, Salamangrate Circle, and Scapegoat. And your unlimits are Danger, Nessie, Performer Pal, Skullcrobat Joker, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Emergency Teleport, Raigeki, and Skill Drain. So, 22 cards in total moving around on the list, which I believe is the most that we've seen move on the list since the list that killed Eternal format, which was January of 2020.
Yep. Like literally right after we came back in the game.
No, like 6 months before we came back in the game.
Oh, I thought it was like right after we came back in the game.
We came back around Toon Chaos, which was like June, July.
Okay. I keep thinking we came back at the start.
Mm-mm.
I think that's because that's when we started talking about it.
Yeah, probably.
And then like 6 months later is when we finally took the plunge. Because that's when I got 3 copies of the...
Shit All Showdown structure deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like got a cross sheet back when it was $3 a copy for the rare, because that was the only copy that existed.
Right. Yeah, so just breaking it down card by card. We'll start with Arch Nemesis Protos. So Protos was a key part of the Sword Soul strategy.
Key part.
It was the best card in the deck.
It was an auto win button.
Yes. Against any deck that basically had one key attribute.
Oh yeah. Any archetype where a very important card can be like locked out, like it has to be on field for it to resolve and do its thing. It just shuts you down.
Yes. So think of Phantom Knights being all dark attribute. If you summon Arch Nemesis Protos, you could call dark attribute and it destroys all dark attribute monsters on the field, and then neither player can summon dark attribute monsters the next turn until the end of the next turn.
They can still activate like graveyard effects, in-hand effects, and all that, but you can't summon them.
Right.
Not just you can't special summon them. Summon them.
Right.
Normal, flip, all of it.
Yep.
Synchro exceeds Monster Reborn.
Right.
None of it.
So with that, that's the reason that it gets banned. It's super searchable within the Sword Soul deck.
Because it's a worm.
Yeah, it's a problem. It's super searchable, easy to abuse, really, really powerful. Next, you have Ava. So Ava's an interesting case because on the last list, Ava got to put to 1. And Drytron really fell off.
Really fell off. It was still a good deck, but they lost a lot of their follow-through.
Well, you went from having 7 negates to having 5.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
But realistically, the deck was still very good, and the deck still gave you the ability to go pretty ham. And I think now this kind of really limits the ability of the fairy builds of the deck.
Yeah, they'll have to rely more on like the Megalith build.
Exactly. Right.
Which thanks to solo mode on a Master Duel, I know how Megaliths work. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, the Megaliths are pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, the Megalith package in that deck is actually based.
The deck isn't dead. Don't get it. We're not saying the deck's dead. Drytron is still a thing.
Right.
They'll just have to adapt a little more to not having access to just search for a Herald or
whatever. Right. So the other thing that's really interesting about this is I think a lot of the reasoning behind this hit is that without having with some of the other hits that they did on this list, when you really think about it, Drytron may have accidentally become the best deck if all those hits followed through.
Oh, absolutely. Mostly due to Protos being Sword Soul's big out to Drytron. Lyralist Tri-Brigade being absolutely slaughtered, which we'll talk about later, but only the Lyralisk version.
Right.
Other versions of Tri-Brigade are still not only around, they're at full power still.
Yeah.
The Tri-Brigades once again go another ban list untouched, where they touch the other parts of the deck. You know, because before it was they messed with the Zoo package, now they're messing with the Lyralisk package. They just don't want to ban any of the actual Tri-Brigades.
Which I'm fine with. I'm really fine with that.
So if you're running Tri-Brigade, you still have a very meta relevant deck for the next couple of months.
When you think about it, the Tri-Brigade strategy is actually a really, like, I hate to say this because I know I'm going to hear about it. The Tri-Brigade strategy as a whole, the pure Tri-Brigade engine, is actually somewhat fair, right?
A little too fair.
It has good, interesting interactions, but a lot of the power from that deck comes from what you pair it with.
Exactly, they're generic for a reason.
Yes. So the engine itself is kind of just like fine, and even paired with something like Rescue Cats or Zodiac package, it's like okay. But when you paired it with Lyralisk, it was outrageous.
Oh yeah, no, especially because you like special, and then overlay, get a search. You like special, get a search, overlay, get another search, special, overlay, get another search. And if your opponent nibbed you there, you got another search.
Yeah.
And if they didn't, you would just make F0 and just keep going.
Yeah.
And you still got that search.
The deck really was just kind of an infinite plus engine when you included the Lyralisk package.
I mean, because the Lyralisk themselves at that point had become, we're just going to keep plussing over and over again. Try and stop us. Do it.
Yeah, it's really insane how plus that engine allowed that deck to go.
The only issue is that all of its monster effects were once per turn, so you would eventually run out of materials before you could really get to a really solid end board. You'd be able to make like an F0, and then if you really put all of your materials into it, a big ensemble, and that's about as good as you could get, just due to one of them, just due to one Lyralisk's Barrel Canary exceed locking you.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I think, though, that in a vacuum, the pure Tri-Brigade deck is... I've been saying this for a while. The pure Tri-Brigade deck is kind of like high tier 2. Just as a pure deck, because like I said, it's kind of fair. The only places you really grab advantage are being able to cycle through your deck is cool, and when you use your Shirag as material, getting a search is pretty cool. But
so you can just do it all over again next turn.
Right. But as a whole, the only place where you go like crazy plus is Revolt. You go like +2 with Revolt.
Oh, easily. In some rare instances, you can even go +3.
Yeah, that card is insane. So I guess we'll see what happens. Which I guess we're talking about it basically. The next ban was some Morgue, Bird of Sovereignty.
Yeah.
The thing about some Morgue specifically in that deck was that some Morgue allowed the deck to either special summon lock its opponent or end on an extra negate. And it also...
Not just a negate, an Omni negate, which, by the way, if they haven't used their normal summon, they can normal summon this one particular monster and have infinite Omni negates.
Yeah.
Unless your opponent, like, activated Solemn Strike or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's really crazy. And to top it all off, it was untargetable. And and whatever winged beast it pointed to were untargetable. Which is like the vast majority of the deck.
Untargetable Ensemble is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Literal near infinite special summon bounces that you can't just Effect Veil or Infinite Impermanence away.
Right.
You have to use your Forbidden Droplet, which I can just negate. If you don't send a monster, I can just negate with Apex Avian.
Right.
And then, to top it all off, if you don't out the Morgue during the end phase, I can special summon out one of the Searcher Lyrilusks and get a search. During your end phase, meaning that whenever it comes my turn again, if I special summon that Lyrilusk, I'm going to get another search.
You could in the past. No longer.
Yes.
Only for another, week.
Yeah, until the ban list becomes active, and then Smorg, Bird of Sovereignty, goes, flies the coop.
He goes off into the sun. But he flew a little too close, so,
We salute you, Smorg. You gave me lots of wins.
Yeah, he gave everyone lots of free wins, which is why that card had to go.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did this instead of, the barrier statue, because, the barrier statue is a problem, especially in the Fluanderese deck, because it's so free in that deck.
Yeah, no fooling.
But, oh my goodness. Simorg was such a problem.
Oh yeah, just the free special summoning from deck. Yes, you were limited by how many empty back row spaces there were on the field, but with all the Lyrilusc monsters being literally level 1, your opponent can't stop you from summoning one of them.
Right.
They could theoretically stop you from having Apex Avian if they went first, by just setting they have to set 4 back row,
right,
and then that would keep you from being able to get the Apex Avian.
Yeah.
Because then it's 6 and Apex Avian's level 7 or 8. I don't remember which.
But honestly, then you just summon a Lyrilusk and go
get a
plus.
Search.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get a search.
It's literally just a +2 if you summon a Cobalt Sparrow.
Yeah, or Celestine Wagtail.
Yeah, it's literally a free +2.
Well, hold on, Celestine Wagtail, you add Bird Call, which is in and of itself a starter and can net you +3.
Yeah, it's really insane when you think about it. That card enables so much. Next, you have Imperial Order. So Imperial Order is maybe the most slam dunk thing on this list. It's such an obvious ban. It's something that so clearly needed to happen. I don't know about you, but I'm not surprised by this in the slightest.
Oh, neither am I. If IO had stayed, I would have been surprised.
Yeah. The card needed to go. It was a problem.
It's a floodgate that stops its own outs from outing it.
Exactly.
In order for your opponent to actually properly out this card, they have to activate Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, and then have Cosmic Cyclone or Tin Twister in their hand, ready to go.
Right.
They have to spend 2 spells to out this thing.
Yeah.
And
they have to have them.
They have to have both of them in hand, and at least one of them has to be a quick play.
Yes. And I think that being able to activate droplets and send your own IO is so insane.
Yeah, and then the droplets still be able to resolve.
Yeah, because IO is no longer on the field.
Yeah.
It sends for cost.
Yeah, which is disgusting.
Yeah. So I don't think that card was okay. I know people that do think it's okay. I disagree.
I wholeheartedly also disagree, but I can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
On the Imperial Order.
Let's move on to the limits. So next we have Astrograph Sorcerer.
Yeah. It gives Pendulum something, which they haven't really been doing anything, even with 2 Performer Pal Skullcrabat Joker.
And 3 double Iris.
And 3 double Iris. A lot of people, when the double Iris first came off, went, oh no, it's Pepe again. Nothing. Came to 2. Still no Pepe. Astrograph Sorcerer 1. Well, then Skullcrabat Joker came off.
Yeah.
Still not a thing. Skullcrabat Joker is a 2. Still nothing.
Yep.
So let's give him Astrograph Sorcerer and see what happens. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. I think Pendulum is going to finally start showing up more.
Honestly, I think you could give them every Pendulum card on the list to 1, as long as you don't put Electromite to 1.
Oh, so you're okay. So you're thinking if you give them everything but Electromite,
they can even have Plush Fire and Monkey Board.
So basically full Pepe, just no Electromite.
Yeah. I'm fine with it.
I mean, at this point, I really don't know if Pepe could even keep up.
Oh, it could keep up. It could do some crazy things.
I mean,
but,
without Electromite.
They didn't have Electromite when Pepe first came around. Yeah, Electromite was a later addition to the Pendulum.
Okay, that's kind of the issue with like leaving the game coming back, is that then you kind of get mixed up on when things came out.
Yeah. I only know it because I watch like a lot of like history of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff.
That's fair.
So Electromite didn't get banned until the January 2020 list, the one that ended Eternal format. Yeah, that was a murder list on a number of different levels.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Astrograph is fine. Like I said, they could even pull off Plush Fire and Monkey Board, and I was like, fine. I don't care. I don't think the deck will be really super competitive even with those cards peeled off. I think there's a lot of cards you could peel off this list that I don't think would impact like anything. So I think that's just me though. Next you have, and listen, hey, that's not a Pendulum endorsement. Pendulum is still the worst summoning mechanic.
I was about to say.
Don't hear what I'm not saying.
Are you endorsing playing? I was about to ask if you were endorsing playing Pendulums. I was about to say.
No.
Hey. I am considering running Valiance, which is a Pendulum deck.
Hey, stop it. Get help.
I just think because they look cool.
Yeah. They look cool.
Anyway, moving on.
But they would look cooler if they weren't multicolored. Whoa. If they weren't green.
I was about to say. You mean if they weren't also spell cards?
Right.
If they weren't Pendulum monsters.
Back up a little bit there.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Let's talk about Destrudo.
So he's back to 1.
Yeah, so Destrudo went from Forbidden to Limited. Cool. I mean, we'll see what happens. It seems it's kind of a slippery slope.
Yeah, I mean, it enables a possible line in Dragon Link with Halka Fibrax, because then you can make Halka Fibrax, bring out the...
Yeah, this screams to me that they told Sword Soul, okay, you can't have Protos. Protos is broken. But we'll give you Destrudo.
Yeah.
Which is insane in Sword Soul, because you can Destrudo... If one of your tuners, like say they Valor your Taie, sure. You can summon Destrudo, and then Synchro 7.
Mm-hmm. Activate his effect, reduces level by 4, bam.
Make Yazi, activate Yazi, pop a card, and then special summon a worm.
And basically
or search or whatever it is.
Yeah, but basically you can just get right back to where you were trying to get to.
Yeah, it's an extender for Sword Soul. It's crazy.
Oh yeah,
and then it's a starter, because if you go Yazi early, then it starts off your entire combo. You know what? Specialing Vishuda and specialing Destrudo, going into Yazi, starting your Yazi lines, which links up into your entire Sword Soul engine. Oh, and by the way, you haven't normal summoned yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now, like, the only stipulation with that, though, is that you have to get the Destrudo into the grave or your hand. As far as the hand, just hard drawing it.
Time to run Foolish Burial and Dragon Ravine.
Exactly. Wait, what other dragons do you run? It's not discard dragons, discard a card. Duh. Never mind.
Send a dragon to your graveyard.
Yeah. I get the two switched around. Discard and then mill. I get the two.
The only thing that would make this better is if it was a worm.
Yeah. Yeah. That being said, though, in order to do the Dragon Ravine play, you have to hard draw the Dragon Ravine, because Sword Soul can't make. I am terrible with names tonight. What's that dude's name?
What dude?
The Dragoonity. Romulus. He can't make Romulus.
Oh, because you need 2 dragons?
It's 2 dragons. It's 2 or more. It's 2 dragons or winged beasts.
Oh, yeah, and they don't have either of those.
Yeah. Dragon League, on the other hand, certainly can, so that becomes a new problem. Again, because that enables Halka Fibrax Auroradon lines. It enables more synchro plays, particularly like you activate Tracer and they pop it or negate it or whatever.
I think this is actually the most dangerous card pulled off the list.
Oh, easily. I wouldn't be surprised if they turn around the very next ban list and go, that was a mistake, and reban it.
I don't know if they'll do it the very next list. They might give it one. They might give it two.
Maybe. But I'm just saying, if they just turn around and say that was a mistake and reban it almost immediately, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, we'll see what the community does with it. But I think Destrudo in Sword Soul is kind of insane.
It is. And Dragon Link, it's just as insane.
Yeah,
Only
sure.
It's easier to get access to it.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I need to get an Auroradon.
Oh, yeah, I need a Halqifibrax and an Auroradon. Ew, and they're both going up.
Yep, I already have a Halqifibrax, so...
Gross. Next we have Fairy Tale Snow. This card could also be a problem.
Oh, easily. Very easily.
Yeah, this card could be a problem. Yeah, Fairy Tale Snow is interesting because that grass is greener is still banned, but Fairy Tale Snow is still a heck of an interruption.
That's putting it lightly, friend.
Yeah, so just for those that don't know what Fairy Tale Snow does, if this card is normal or special summoned, and it is level 4, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can banish 7 other cards from your hand, field, and or graveyard. Special summon this card.
Whoo, boy.
Do you notice what's not anywhere on that card?
3 little words. Once per turn.
Yeah, so imagine this. Activate Fairy Tale Snow. Banish 7 from hand, field, or grave. You can do like 3, 2, and 2.
Yep.
You can do whatever you want. Activate Fairy Tale Snow. Oh, chain called by the grave. Chain Fairy Tale Snow. Banish 7 more. I'm doing it anyway.
Yep. Chain Effect Veiler. Chain Snow. You got more
Well, you can't really Veiler. It's in the graveyard.
Fair enough.
Chain Skullmeister.
Yeah, Skullmeister.
Chain Snow.
Chain Snow. Chain Ghost Bell. Chain Snow.
I'm just gonna keep chaining it as long as I have materials.
I'll just keep going. Come on, give me more chain links. Let's get this chain as big as we can.
And then normal summon Grand Maju and win the game.
Exactly. Normal summon Grid Maju attack for 8k.
Yeah. So, Fairy Tale Snow is a really stupid card. I'm just gonna say that.
Yep, it's going to be rough with its very existence.
Yeah. That said, I don't really know how much it impacts because, like I said, that grass is greener is not at 3. So, how much material are you really gonna have for it?
Depends on the deck.
You're not gonna ever be even possibly able to activate this more than like 5 or 6 times in a duel.
Only 5 or 6 times in a duel.
That sounds like a lot, but when you consider other monsters and their effects, non-once per turn. Look how many times Fluffle activates Toy Vendor in a turn.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at monsters that are typically abused because they're not once per turn, I don't know. Okay, I admit 5 or 6 times per duel doesn't seem like a great argument, but realistically, you're just not going to be able to activate this so many times in a row.
Yeah.
You know, there's almost no chance you're ever able to activate this card 4 times in one chain. There's just no chance.
Yeah, because your opponent's going to kind of, after the second chain, is going to kind of get the point.
And even if they don't, you're going to run out of materials.
Yeah, unless you're like the only deck I can think of that could keep doing that over and over again is probably Thunder Dragon, and that's just because of the way the deck functions.
Yeah.
And maybe Dragon Link, but then at that point, they're dumping everything into that snow.
Yeah.
You know, because in a normal combo line, Dragon Link will send half their deck to the graveyard.
And a lot of decks will. Extra deck, too. That's why you might be able to get, like, 6, because that way you might be able to get 40 plus the extra deck monsters. But...
60-card Grand Maju, let's go.
I mean, yeah, Golden Castle finds snow somehow, yeah. Go for it, but... I don't know. I don't think that one's going to be as impactful as Destrudo.
No, nowhere near as impactful. Unless somebody finds some way to really abuse it.
Yeah.
Like maybe DD Probe, I think it's called. Whenever it's banished, you get special summoned.
DD Scout Complaint.
Scout, yeah. Whenever it's banished, you get special summoned. I don't think that's once per turn either.
It's not.
Yeah. So that would theoretically kind of give you a little...
I think it's special summon during the end phase.
Oh, okay. If it's the end phase, yeah. If it's not, that would essentially give you almost infinite.
I'm almost positive if it's a mandatory summon too.
Yeah. But we'll have to wait and see what people much smarter than the two of us combined figure out with Snow.
Yeah, I think the best use for Snow is as reusable link material.
Yeah.
So, but sad that even though it's a giant rabbit person, it's a spellcaster, not a beast
Or a dragon.
Could you imagine if it was a beast? Oh, Lunalight Tri-Brigade plus Snow. Oh,
plus a single
God,
copy
yes.
of Snow. Yeah.
Oh God,
That'd be
yes.
disgusting.
Link off the Snow, activate effect, banish 7, summon it back. Another link material.
Revolt.
Oh, God,
And then just revolt most of it back.
Oh my goodness, yes. Stop. I can only get so happy. I had to censor that for the podcast.
I was about to say, man, you're walking off that ice with that.
I know. Next card is Lunalight Tiger. So Tiger is an interesting one because, like...
It's a pendulum monster, but it's really not. It's just a spell card.
Yeah, this card at 1 is, like, probably fine.
So, the reason why I say it's not really a pendulum monster, it's just a spell card, is because 9 times out of 10, you're just going to activate in your pendulum zone to get its pendulum effect off, which is to special... If I recall, is to special summon a Lunalight monster from the graveyard, right?
On a soft once per turn,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yeah, on a soft once per turn. And then they're just going to send to the graveyard and whatever. It is a pendulum monster, quote unquote, but you're probably never going to normal summon it.
And the greatest part is that it's a soft once per turn.
Yeah.
And it's a Beast Warrior. The whole archetype is Beast Warriors. And you know what that means.
Yeah, the Tri-Brigade targets.
Let's go.
Yeah. And
Tri-Brigade best deck. Let's go.
and searchable off a 10 key.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm super excited for this.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, anytime there's a new build of Tri-Brigade, you get excited.
True, I am easily excitable.
Especially when it comes to Tri-Brigade. That is your pet deck.
It really is. I've really gotten really attached to Tri-Brigade. So that is that.
The limits.
No, that's not all the limits. We still have Lyrilisk, Recital, Starling.
Yes. Okay.
They really went after Bird Up on this list.
Now the thing about the second limit, it doesn't really, like, if they had just limited Recital Starling and not touched Morgue, it really doesn't change your combo line much, except you don't get your second Recital Starling search, which normally ends up just being a DD Crow.
Well, yeah.
That's really about it. You still, like, make the first one search, special. You just make a different rank 1. Just literally any rank 1, it does not matter. You could run a second, a Symbol Nightingale. You could run the Palm Thrush. You could run another Ensemble. Doesn't, or you can run Kakamucha Fucho for.
Yeah, it really just gives you the opportunity to kind of do whatever you want there.
Yeah, you just make whatever other rank 1 in that spot that any 2 material rank 1 you can make using Sapphire Swallow and Nerval, and then you just bam, F0.
Yeah, and then you just get your Nerval search.
Yeah, you lose out on exactly 1 search. That's it.
Oh no, whatever will we do?
However,
we only get 5 searches instead of 4.
However, that also gives them less discard fodder, because the DD Crow search let them either use it as a DD Crow, but it also guaranteed that even if something happens, they still have a discard material for Karis.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So they've lost out on that extra little bit of cushioning that they would have from hand traps and stuff, but not a whole lot.
Right. Well, I think it's an interesting hit, but
that's from my experience back when I played the deck.
Yeah. Let's take just a moment to talk about our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Super cool dudes.
Of course, ETB is our local card shop in Alexandria. So if you are local to the Louisiana area, we absolutely recommend you come and check them out. If you're not, you can find a link to their webpage in the description down below. ETB Games is your one-stop shop to find everything you need for all of your card game needs. Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Cardfight Vanguard, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon. That's really the big ones, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They also have tabletop stuff like stuff for D&D, Pathfinder, Warhammer.
Of course. So for all of your nerdy needs, be sure to check out ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. So moving on, we do have 2 more limits to talk about. Next we have Monster Gate. Monster Gate's kind of a weird one.
I'm pretty sure that was entirely due to an FTK.
I think it was an FTK plus Fairy Tale Snow. The more I think about it, I think Snow coming off this list has something to do with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was probably a combination of both. Little column A, little column B.
Yeah. But I don't think there's any denying that that card didn't need to be at 1. I mean, that card didn't need to be at 3. That card probably should be at 1 anyway.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
That's a very good card. Next we have Pot of Desires. So Desires.
I think that was supposed to be a Sword Soul hit without actually hitting Sword Soul.
Yeah, it felt like a Sword Soul or Tri-Brigade consistency hit without actually hitting the decks.
Yeah. Sword Soul because it's too new. Tri-Brigade because they don't want to hit Tri-Brigade for some reason.
Because the deck is fair enough.
Because the deck by itself is fair, but the problem is that all the other Beast Warrior, and Wing of Beast archetype stuff is really good.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's fine. I think it's kind of a based hit, actually, if I'm being honest, because
now you can't draw Desires off of Desires anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like an overall general consistency card for the entire meta.
God, I remember how angry I got whenever I activated Pot of Desires, banished 10, my 2 draws were Pot of Desires.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
Angry!
At least now the community won't have to debate what the correct ratio is of Desires.
Yes. The Konami has answered that for you. It's 1.
Yeah, just play the 1. That's all of the limits. So let's talk about the semi-limits. You have a Hero Lives going from 1 to 2.
Pay half your life points, special summon a elemental hero monster from your deck.
Yeah, summon Stratos, activate Stratos effect, search.
Yeah. Let him have the unsearchable extender. I don't think it's searchable.
I don't think it is. It doesn't matter. They can have it.
Yeah. It's whatever.
Because they also semi-limited Fusion Destiny.
Yeah.
So that actually does hurt the hero deck a little bit. But to be honest with you, it's more of a hit to the DPE engine, and we both know that.
Oh yeah, because they don't make Verte.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. They clearly did not want to hit the Verte part of that engine. Because if you hit the Verte part, then people just play 3 Fusion Destiny. But you can't really hit Fusion Destiny too hard because you have an ulti coming out in the OTS pack coming out.
Exactly. And Verte just got a reprint not too long ago.
And
so they're still making money off of that.
DPE just came out in the last core set.
Yeah, and they don't want to hurt that too much either. I find that this is probably a nice middle of the road to where they're doing something without actually doing something.
Right. It definitely is a good middle ground.
Yeah, it's Konami pretending to do something without actually doing anything.
Yeah, but the really interesting thing is, though, is that it actually does do something. Because it was like I was talking to somebody about earlier today. The funny thing about it is that you end up in a situation where you get these... Yeah, it's only like a 10% reduction in consistency, but now you're having to play the same amount of bricks as you are your actual combo pieces.
That's a fair point. You're more likely to draw the combo piece plus the brick now.
Yeah, I mean, you went from, having like a 20% chance to see a brick, but a 30% chance of seeing the Fusion Destiny
to 20 and 20.
Right. And it's just, yeah. At that point, you may as well just play a Verte and only play one Fusion Destiny. It's like they hit it without actually hitting it.
Yeah. Like then even if you do stick with the 2 and Storyline on hard opening it, you're not going to hard open it near as much.
Yeah, I really think it's kind of a cool hit, to be honest.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. But again, it also gives them this air of, we did something without actually doing very much.
Right. Next, you have Nadir Servant from 3 to 2. Nadir Servant's an interesting card. I think that they were trying to indirectly hit the Invoke strategy. And I think both Fusion Destiny and Nadir Servant do that. But for some reason, they didn't want to actually hit the deck by hitting Alistair or Meltdown.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, because it still makes the deck, like, functionally playable.
Yeah.
Because isn't Nadir Servant searchable anyway? No, it's not? Okay, so
Nope.
there's just less of a chance your opponent will open with a Nadir Servant.
Which is good, because Nadir Servant sets up, like, the entire window lock.
Oh, absolutely. Not just the window lock, it just sets up the entire deck for the win with the one activation.
Yeah.
The window lock is one of the things it can do.
Yeah.
Like you can actually get the window lock going. You can or you can like pop a card, spin a card back to the deck.
Yep.
It all depends on what's in the extra deck, baby.
Yeah. It's interesting. Next you have Salamangreat Circle to 2. I like this unrestriction. I think it's cool.
Oh yeah, I like that they're kind of slowly peeling stuff off for Salad because it's a cool deck. It's too fair, way too fair.
Yeah. And it's not like splashable with other things like Tri Brigade is.
Yeah, they're very.
Or at least not to the same extent.
Yeah, like a lot of the cards are very specifically Salamangreat, and the cards that don't say Salamangreat say a Fire Cybers monster, which might as well just straight up like the only non-fire, like the only non-Salamangreat Fire Cybers monster I can think of is Flame Buffalo.
Yes. Lady Debug.
Lady Debug is light.
Oh, okay.
Two of the Ignister monsters are fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another monster that's like Flame Buffalo, but it's not Flame Buffalo, and I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, I thought that was Lady Debug, but I guess I was wrong.
Yeah. No, never mind. That's Salamangreat Buffalo.
Oh,
Never mind. Yeah, no, it's literally just those couple of cards that are Fire Cyberses. Flame Buffalo still actually usable in the deck itself. Still a great card.
yeah.
It's a very generic Cybers monster. And then the Ignister cards are Ignister cards, and are very specifically for AI.
Yeah.
For I.
So, next you have Scapegoat to 2. This is interesting. I guess it's kind of like a control tool, and it lets him climb into Boral Sword like super easy, but yeah, it's fine. I guess we'll see how that works out, but I think it's fine.
I mean, I don't think people are going to run it even at 2. I don't think people run Scapegoat at 3.
People don't really run it, but the thing is, like, you can.
Well, Tri-Brigade can really abuse it because they're all beasts.
Yeah, but the issue is you can't summon monsters the turn you activate it.
Yeah, you have to set it, and then it survive your opponent's entire turn.
And then you have to do it defensively. And then the Tri-Brigade still can't abuse them because 1, they're not in the graveyard, and 2, all the Tri-Brigade links require... I think they require effect monsters.
Oh, yeah, no, if they require effect monsters, the absolute best thing you can do at that point is link them off into a Link Spider. But even then...
It's a Cyburst.
It's a Cyburst, not a Beast or Beast Warrior. Eliminates the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
The best thing that you could do is...
Gives you a free access code.
Well, not even necessarily that, because access code requires effect monsters.
Well, no, because you can do 2 of them into...
You'd have to go into Link Spiders and...
Yeah, like Link 1 to Link Spider, Link 2 into one of the Nightmares, Link 3 to Nightmare Unicorn, access code.
You made a Nightmare Unicorn and then link the other token into something else and then make an access code, like a Link Grebo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It is feasibly possible, but that's a lot of extra deck space for literally flip 1 card.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's not really worth it. IMO.
Yeah. Next we have our Unlimits. We have Danger Nessie going to 3. That's fine. It was at 2. It wasn't doing anything.
Literally nothing.
Yeah. And Danger Nessie is like, it's fine. It's not like the best Danger, you know?
It's not Tsuchinoko or Jackrabbit.
Right.
Jackalope, my bad.
Yeah. Next, you have Perform Pal Skullcrobat Joker. Again, this card's fine at 3. It was fine at 2. They'll be fine at 3. I don't really have a lot of faith in Pendulum doing anything unless they get Electromite back.
Pretty much.
So,
And even then.
yeah. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This card was errated to a hard once per turn. So there's no point in it still being limited.
Yeah, it's literally a hard once per turn. Like, all of its effects are very specifically... You can only summon one. You can only summon him once per turn by his own effect. You only get his special summon effect once per turn. At that point, after that, if you special summon him again, he's just link material.
Yeah.
He's a big link material, 2000 attack. That's about it.
Yeah. Next, you have Emergency Teleport. This card was also semi-limited. That makes a lot of sense with this upcoming Psychic support that we have.
We got Punk coming out soon, which is all level 3 Psychic monsters.
Right. Plus, I mean, they just released the Collector's Rare of this card.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of made too much sense. This makes sense.
Oh yeah. No. Hey, Virtual World players, rejoice.
Yeah, and there's more Rejoice coming for you. Next, you have Raigeki to 3. This is an interesting one.
Would you consider running Regeki at 3?
I mean, yeah.
I've considered it.
Yeah, I would. I've already pulled out my extra copy I had.
Yeah. I only have 1 copy, so I'll have to get 2 more. But Regekis are cheap.
They should be, yeah.
No, they are. I went and looked. For me to get like 2 more Prismatic Secrets is like $10.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And as for the Prismatic Secret,
Yeah, so I think that Raigeki to 3 is fine.
it's not searchable. First off,
No, it's not.
Well,
I mean,
technically it is, but reliably no.
yeah, right. I don't know. I think it's fine. I mean, if you can have 3 Lightning Storm, I think you can have 3 Raigeki.
Like, the only difference between Lightning Storm and Regeki is Lightning Storm has the limitation of only attack position monsters, but it can also function as Harpy's Feather Duster as a trade-off.
And you have to control no cards on your side of the field.
Yeah.
And it's a hard once per turn.
Yeah.
Raigeki is not once per turn. You can do it anytime.
Yeah. And also, it wipes all your opponent's monsters. Face up, face down, attack, defense, whatever.
And it's basically been at 3. I mean, it's basically been either banned or limited forever.
Since there was a limited list. Not even before there was a ban list. Like, wasn't the first limited list, like, limited this card to 1 immediately?
Pretty much, yeah.
And then it was limited for a while, and they banned it. It's been banned ever up until...
A few years ago.
Yeah. Relatively recently within the game's history, and it's been at 1 ever since.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably fine at 3. It's just kind of shocking to see. You know, it's literally not something we've ever seen.
Well, I also have big memories of Darkhold being limited.
Yes, I remember that.
And then when I learned that Darkhold was at 3, I was like, why? And then I learned why. It's not good anymore.
Yeah. Next we have Skill Drain to 3. This is weird. This list was like the coolest list ever, and then everybody saw this and they were like, wait a minute, what?
We lost IO, but at what cost? The cost for banning of IO was getting 3 Skill Drain. That's not equivalent exchange at all. That's horrible. Why? No.
Cause man, gotta have them purple cards for the purple card players.
But also, they're about to reprint it, so.
Also, yes, it is getting a reprint in Hidden Arsenal. Couple of things that I want to say about this list. Don't get caught holding the bag. If you have your skill drains, sell them.
They are bought out to high heaven. When I checked this, like, when I saw the ban list, I immediately, like, while we were recording, I looked up skill drain, and they were $15 a piece for the common. Now I think they're at, like, what, 30?
45.
45 for the common.
Yeah.
A non-first common. It's ridiculous. If you have them, offload them now. As of recording, as of episode date, January 28th, 2022.
Yes.
If you're listening to this in 2026, you've lost your chance.
Yeah, they're gone.
Like,
hopefully that card is banned by then.
yeah, banned or has just been power crapped.
Yeah. No, I don't want that card to get power cracked. I want that card to get banned because it's too good.
Listen, like the only way that card could ever be power cracked is exactly an archetype that can search an MST.
I guess that's true.
That's the only way that card could ever be. And now, what I mean is, you can discard this card from your hand, add one mystical space typhoon from deck to hand,
Or Cosmic Cyclone, or Twin Twister,
or an in archetype
right?
spell card that just pops a spell on the field.
Overall, how do you feel about the ban list? Positive, negative? What do you feel?
Excluding the skill drains, very positive. This was a super cool ban list.
Including skill drains.
Why? That's it. Just why?
I'm still overall positive, even with skill drain. There's a couple.
Oh,
other
it's still
things.
a positive why, but it's still a why.
Yeah. I wouldn't say like overwhelmingly positive, just positive. I feel good. I'm really interested to see the upcoming diversity and change coming in the format. It's always cool to see when people get a new list like this and they just get in the lab and they just start innovating, you know?
Oh yeah, particularly with new stuff that got peeled off the ban list.
Right.
Try and figure out how their deck can still function with stuff that got put on the ban list.
Right. All right, well, I think that'll do it for today's episode, everybody.
This was definitely an interesting conversation. Again, because this is now we've had time to
Process a little bit.
process it and actually think about it rather than just our gut reaction.
Yes. So, well, that'll do it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. The only thing we have left to do is the podcast question today. Our last one is, what deck are you building in Master Duel? This was our most replied to question ever. It got almost 300 replies just on Twitter. We got every reply under the sun. I mean, every deck you could ever consider. A lot of decks you've never heard of. I know on our Discord we got some things like the grass is greener, Thunder Dragon Link deck, Heroes, Adignister, Domain Monarchs, Sky Strikers, more Dragon Link, Trap Shadal, Luna Kaiju, Dogma Tri-Brigade, Dream Mirror, Unchained, Eldritch, Cyber Darks, Gravekeepers. Just the amount of Zombie World with the Vampire Engine. I mean,
Just a lot of people being like, I've always wanted to try out this deck, now I can, without actually spending any money.
yeah, it's cool to see what people are coming up with. So, the next upcoming podcast question today is, what updates are you looking forward to in Master Duel? Are there any features, updates, cards, anything like that you're looking forward to?
I want them to add Small World. Give me Small World.
I just want them to add Burst of Destiny so I can play Sword Soul.
Small World. Small World.
Sword Soul. Sword Soul.
It's the same set.
Yeah.
Small World is such a busted card.
It's a funny card.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So.
Oh no, I'm going first and have a Nibiru in hand. I'll just switch it out for like
A starter.
a Herald.
Yeah.
And
That makes sense.
I'll switch it for a Herald of the Orange Light. Let's go.
Because that makes sense.
Oh no, I have two starters. Let me switch it out for a Herald of the Orange Light, or a DD Crow, or even funnier, Ash Blossom.
Oh, I went full combo, but I still had an extra extender in hand. Let me swap that out for a hand trap.
Yeah, let me swap that out for like something funny.
Right.
Oh, even funnier. Grab Scythe, set the Scythe,
Oh, that's gross.
because you can do that.
All right, that's it. Thank you all so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. As always, you can find us on Twitter at Top Cut Podcast. You can find us on Discord. You can find us on Patreon. You can find our TCG player link in the description down below. You can find ETB Games link in the description down below. And of course, you should check out Team Darkroom Dealings. That is our sister channel on YouTube. They are from our locals. They post some great deck profiles, some great reaction videos, all of that kind of stuff. So be sure to check them out in the description down below. And until next time, have a good day, everybody.
Take care, everyone.